What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we will be reacting to the 2024 NASCAR playoffs preview. This was requested by one of my Patreon members. I'm looking forward to getting into this because as someone who is like new, I'm new to NASCAR basically. I've been watching this is my first full season of watching. So trying to explain the playoffs to someone new like me it's very difficult. And like when I've been asking people in the streams and stuff, even people who've been watching NASCAR for so long have literally told me it's still difficult to understand the playoffs. I'm like, great. So I've got no hope here whatsoever. But I feel like, you know, it's a playoffs preview. I feel like this is going to be good for me. Give me some insight as to what I'm getting myself into for the next couple of months. So I'm looking forward to getting into it. But before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe. Over half of you that watch my videos still aren't subscribed. Just hit the bell, it takes 2 seconds. And if you'd like to become a member on this channel and receive exclusive perks, you can also do that by hitting the join button down below.
Well, that was fun. And now we got 10 weeks to go and 16 drivers to whittle down to 1. So let's get into it. Here are your 16 NASCAR Cup Series playoff drivers.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go in order of how they qualified into the playoffs, starting with William Byron, who locked himself in with a win in the Daytona 500. See, Byron to me is a Jekyll and Hyde kind of driver this year. Started out red hot, 3 wins, 7 top 10s in the first 10 or so races.
7 top 10s.
Middle of the summer, now with not even having 2 top 10s in a row or more in the last 16 races. But to be fair, and you got to remember this, William Byron has always kind of been this way. Even in 2023, that
has he? I wouldn't know.
Some cold streaks during the regular season. He's been in the last.
I know a little bit about him because he was in the Netflix series quite a bit, but like that's it. He's not like one of my favorites, so I don't actively look out for him during a race.
9.0 average finish. That average finish, maybe add a few more top 5s or wins in there, it's championship level. And he had a win, 6 top 5s and 8 top 10s last year with a 6
top 5s and 8 top 10s, wow.
Championship caliber team. If this team turns it on like they can, sort of similar to another Hendrick driver in the past, there is no telling what they can achieve. Daniel Suarez is up next, winning at Atlanta.
Oh yeah, that insane finish
at Atlanta Motor Speedway. He's had a similar.
That was like the first photo finish I had seen. Crazy.
Most of the year, and pretty much an app.
Like, look at that. Absolutely insane.
Makes it past the first round, it will be a rousing success. If not, well, we all expect him to be bounced early. Of course, Kyle Larson is.
Yes, okay, I was waiting for it.
Larson. I just don't see why he wouldn't, at this time in the height of his career, be in the middle of the NASCAR championship.
Because Chastain's not in the playoffs, I'm going to have to cheer on Larson. Well, they're both my favorites anyway, but I mean, Chastain is like my top favorite between the two, but Miguel's heartbroken after he didn't make it, so.
Just not been the greatest. He's been better, but not great. Gets involved in a lot of accidents, sometimes starts them. And then himself. He is the definition of checkers or wreckers.
Checkers or wreckers.
Being caught up maybe in a wreck in Atlanta and then trying to push it too hard, say, at Watkins Glen and Bristol. He could also be the champion at year's end. The craziness of Kyle Larson is that he could literally achieve anything, the greatest disappointment or the greatest hype up ever. And that's one of the most fun aspects of this playoff.
I just got chills looking at that finish.
On the other hand, has been, I'd say, a
Christopher Bell
person in some ways. He is, again, one of those guys who's checkers or wreckers. He'll be really good, win a lot of races, lead.
Checkers or wreckers. I love that saying. First time I've heard that saying today, but I'm going to use it all the time now.
Opportunities. If this team gets it straightened out, they are one of the best in NASCAR. And they've proven also they're one of the most clutch. And Bell is one of the most clutch drivers. He's a short track and flat track ace as well. He either wins on them or he should have won on them. And because of that, and being good just about anywhere they go, if he gets to Phoenix, he can finally break through and win the championship after being in the championship 4 in previous years.
Oh.
Hamlin has everything it takes to win a championship. He is one of the best drivers in NASCAR history.
Oh. Okay. Bold statement there.
All around him, top notch. You don't see dumb mistakes very often from the 11 team. A crew chief who is one of the best in all of NASCAR. And he has experience now to get ahead of different mistakes he would have made in his younger past. The problem is bad luck. Whether it's tape on the grill when it's not supposed to be there, no matter what else it is, look at the penalty. He had a penalty, head start on all these problems before the playoffs even started due to something the 11 team didn't do, losing 10 playoff points, losing a ton of positions in the regular season, and possibly losing his best shot at a championship yet. After the least popular driver, let's
Chase Elliott. Golden boy, okay.
radar big time in 2024. A lot of people look at last year, the big fall off he had, the injury, and not making the playoffs after missing a couple of races. And I think that's natural for drivers to have after some kind of incident like that. They look at 2022, how consistent he was, how much he won, and the fact that he hasn't won very much since then, only one win at Texas this year. Kind of reminiscent to a post-2007 Jeff Gordon, if you look at it that way. But he doesn't crash either. He's not as flashy as Kyle Larson, but he's not as crashy.
I was going to say, I don't see him crash a lot.
His teammates. Elliott is the definition of under the radar, which is insane for the most popular driver in NASCAR. He's been solid enough consistency-wise to keep pace this year with Kyle Larson and Tyler Reddick without any of the glitz and glamour around it. Chase Elliott is one you need to watch out for because a lot of people might not see him coming as one of the top guys in the round of, say, maybe 8, final 4, who knows? One of the guys who has finally gotten his flowers is Tyler Reddick, who I talked about before. He is, I would say, in my personal opinion, the best driver of 2024 so far.
Wow, bold statement. This video is filled with bold statements.
Tyler Reddick is the real deal this year, and I think it's a start of a very big window for the...
I felt for him a bit in the last race, can't lie, when he was going on about throwing up.
in the playoffs, right?
This is good for me because I don't actually know who made the playoffs. So I'm sat here, I'm like, oh, he made it, and he made it. Great.
He has the ability to be malleable. He has the ability to go against the toughest tracks and win. He's experienced in very high-pressure situations. He is no slouch when it comes to getting into championship scenarios. Looking at his old team, the 2 team of Austin Cindric, well, they were in the right place at the right time at Gateway. They performed. They deserve the win.
I was going to say that win was kind of crazy. Didn't see that win going his way.
Penske ladder with Ryan Blaney now. Blaney is...
I had a feeling he was going to come up here somewhere.
Of 2023. He is the one who wants...
Oh, yeah, because he won last year, didn't he? Duh.
How playoffs began. He has had a better regular season than 2023. He is another very solid, short track, flat track kind of driver, and once again, he's being overlooked. To be fair, I think he deserves it a little more than, say, a Brad Keselowski or a Tyler Reddick for a while or a Chase Elliott. But Ryan Blaney is somebody, again, who could get hot at the right time. The playoffs set up very well for him when it comes to tracks in each round. The toughest will be the round of 16, but I do think this driver and team are good enough to get past and exercise demons of the past. So Ryan Blaney is...
Demons of the past.
And he might be a good one to bet on to go back-to-back.
It's kind of good that he reminded me that he won last year. Now I know to look out for him.
After 5 overtimes, but that doesn't really impress me.
Joey as well, great.
In all honesty, probably didn't deserve to win it. Something just feels off with the 22 team. Now, they're another one, though, team and driver alike, who could pop off like Ryan Blaney did last year, but this team just seems to be its most uncompetitive since, say, 2017 or
oh, wow, okay.
Since 2012.
So we're not feeling that confident about Joe Logano, great.
With his win in Chicago.
Alex Bowman.
This is a pop-up guy in every way. His 2021 season, a pop-up season with 4 wins and an outlier. But he's an outlier kind of guy. He's quietly consistent. At one point, he was as consistent as Tyler Reddick.
I was going to say quietly consistent. Like, he's not someone that I notice in a race.
By his star-studded cast of characters around him. Don't overlook him. This is the theme of the playoffs. Don't overlook these guys, including the driver of the 48 car. Harrison Burton was the last man to win before tonight's race in Darlington. He had a feel-good win at Daytona. The worst chartered team, though, in NASCAR is the 21.
Oh yeah, Burton won in Daytona, didn't he? Lol. That's not the way I saw that race going either.
Truex Jr. This is his retirement year.
Oh, Truex Jr. Yeah, he's just ready to retire, isn't he? The fact that he made it to the playoffs and he was out at the beginning of last race, crazy.
With the best and the best in NASCAR, they're just underachievers in a lot of ways. Now, Ty Gibbs is in his sophomore jump season.
Ty Gibbs.
He has the speed, but just can't.
I feel a bit of trauma every time I see that name now, because every time I'm in a stream, everyone expresses how much they don't like Ty Gibbs. I'm like, oh, okay.
Rookie era in the 2000s. Bristol will be circled on the calendar. I think he can really dominate and win this race. It's been one of his best and fastest tracks, but he's also a guy who has, I think, a wide window here because we don't know really what to expect. He could be in the round of 16 and exit out there, or he can make it to the round of 8 and anything can happen from there. I still think Gibbs and the 54 team alike are about a year or maybe on the large end too away. And then there's Chase Briscoe, who got the walk-off win from Darlington in the Southern 500. Listen, I think it's a really nice story. I think that him winning in the 14 car, possibly being the last win for Stewart Haas Racing and growing up.
I don't think any of us saw him winning.
As to his personal life, amazing story. Take that away though, this team has been nothing but mediocre this year. I don't see them really competing in any reasonable way in the playoffs, and if they make the round of 12, that will be a success. If they make it any further, that will be an absolute...
I was going to say, that team haven't really, stood out to me this year either.
Underdog guys that probably people would say don't deserve to be in could make it farther. Briscoe is probably the most likely.
So there's a couple of names that are coming up. I'm thinking, you're probably not going to be in it for a long time, the playoffs, or a few of them I'm like, oh, okay, you might be.
And I'm also going to go a little outside the box on some of it. So Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson for sure for me. I think these guys are good enough and set up with the tracks in the round of...
I was going to say Larson, not just because he's my favourite, but he obviously does really well.
Another one, he's been inconsistent, but he is a clutch driver. He's good in the playoffs, and a lot of these rounds end very well for him track-wise. And then I'm going to go William Byron. He's been off, but it might just be enough to get him to the Final Four. My championship pick in this, because it's at Phoenix, Christopher Bell. I don't think there will be a Ford in the Final Four. I think it'll be 2 Toyotas and 2 Chevys. Because of that, Bell will probably go, not unopposed, but I think will go as the clear favorite into this race. And there you have it.
Wow.
All 16 NASCAR playoff drivers. So who are your Final Four picks and championship picks?
I don't know. Well, that was interesting. It was good for me. Gave me lots of information there. Although it didn't... I mean, it's not a video where it was going to explain the playoffs to me. So I'm still, going into the playoffs, yay, playoffs. But, do I know what I'm getting myself into? No. But... that video was good though, because I actually didn't know who was in the playoffs. So he went through every single driver there, which was great for me. Gave his 4 championship contender predictions at the end, and then who he thought who was going to win the championship, which was great. But they were very thought out answers, and very factual, answers. If I was to give a prediction, I'd literally just be picking random drivers, because I don't know. This is my first season in NASCAR. I have no idea. Yes, I'm at the point now where I can watch NASCAR and understand what's going on, and I know all the drivers now. And when I'm watching a race and I see a car and it's obviously got the number on it, I can pick out who it is now. It's the small wins. But I can't really sit here and give predictions because I don't know. All I'd say is that, I'd probably put Larson in the top 4 because he always does well. That's not me being biased, because he's one of my favourites. He just is. He does well. So, yes, I'd put him up there. I'd probably just say, because he won the championship last year, I'd just put Blaney in there. And that would be my answer. Well, he won last year, so I just put him in there. But then other 2, I don't know. No clue. I asked everyone in my streams and stuff recently, and I've been asking people over this season, oh, do you think Denny will finally get his championship, or do you think Denny will get a championship? And everybody I know has said no. Everybody I've asked has literally said no, he won't. So I won't put him in my prediction, but those are the 2 people anyway. I don't think I'd be able to give you 4, but 2 people there. Let me know who you think will be in the top 4 and who you think will win the championship this season, because as someone who doesn't have any answers, I'm intrigued to know what everybody else thinks. But yeah, that was a really good video. So big thank you to my Patreon members for requesting this video. And with that being said, if you have any other videos that you'd like me to react to, drop them in the comments. I'm working my way through everybody's suggestions at the moment. If you did want to check out any of my other socials or become a Patreon member and get early access to content and top priority over suggestions, then you can also do that down below. And if you want to become a member on this channel and receive exclusive perks, you can also do that by hitting the join button down below. But I hope you enjoyed today's reaction, and I will catch you next time for the next one. Bye.